Shocking Steelers trade update as the newest reports have revealed the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in a veteran quarterback that is on the trade block. My name is Peyton Kleppe, and on today's episode of Steelers Digest, we'll be diving into the latest Pittsburgh Steelers rumors and news. The Pittsburgh Steelers could look to add another veteran quarterback before the draft if they decide that, hey, we are confident in the guys we sign and we don't want to get a guy in the draft. Real quick, just a quick reminder. If you guys are not currently subscribed already, click that subscribe button down below. 91% of our current viewers are not currently subscribed. So if you click that subscribe button, we're going to get you guys the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news, trade rumors, free agency signings, anything Pittsburgh Steelers related. We will get a video out to you daily. Let's get right into the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. We got a lot to talk about today. So the latest player the Pittsburgh Steelers have been linked to, another quarterback, surprise, surprise, it is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the latest quarterback that will be added to the QB carousel of the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason. We've talked about guys like Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart, Quentin Ewers, and the next guy to add to that list is Kirk Cousins. The Pittsburgh Steelers are reportedly interested in him as they're still in trade talks and I guess signing talks with Aaron Rodgers, but they're looking to add another quarterback veteran. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers' undivided attention is at Aaron Rodgers at the moment, but another accomplished veteran quarterback that could be an option for the team if they lose out on Aaron Rodgers is Kirk Cousins. Sports Illustrated Albert Breer reported that Atlanta Falcons signal culture, Kirk Cousins may draw interest from around the league if Aaron Rodgers is off the board. And, I really don't want this guy. If you look at his stats from last year, he really wouldn't even be an upgrade over Russell Wilson, who, as you guys know, we do not want back in Pittsburgh. We had Mr. Unlimited for a while. We tried it out, but we do not want him. Sorry. I just don't know how you can walk back into that locker room and just have your team around you after that performance of the last 6 games of the season. I'm sorry, Russ. I appreciate everything you gave to the Steel City, but I just don't know how you go back in that locker room and rally the troops after that performance. So Pittsburgh Steelers will probably move on from Russell Wilson. But back to the news. Kirk Cousins last year, he threw for over 3,000 yards, 3,500, 18 touchdowns, and 16 picks. And last year, this guy was fumbling. He was throwing picks. He was getting sacked. He was not playing well. He's obviously at the later stage of his career. He's around 36, 37, maybe even 38. So this guy would really be a one-year rental. I'd kind of compare this guy to a Matt Ryan when he went to the Indianapolis Colts. I really don't expect this guy to have really any success, if any success, wherever he goes. I mean, he might just stay in Atlanta, but we will have to wait and see because, with his $10 million guarantee for the 2025 season, Kirk Cousins is now looking to potentially slow playing his next move. So if Rodgers picks the Steelers this week, I expect that the Giants or the Cleveland Browns would also have some interest in making a move for the Atlanta Falcons pricey backup. If we get Rodgers, I don't want Kirk Cousins, and give him to the Browns, give him to the Giants. Those guys are the bottom feeders of the league. They'll take whatever they can get. Obviously, the Giants also just signed Jameis Winston. So, they gave him backup money, 2 years, $8 million, I believe. So they still could look to bring in Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson. I'm hearing the latest reports that Russell Wilson is actually he wants to sign with the Giants now. He doesn't want to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. I feel like his team is just putting all this media out there, try to get him a contract. This guy has really been the ex-girlfriend of the offseason that nobody wants. Aaron Rodgers is kind of slowing down his contract signing because it seems that whatever team misses out on Aaron Rodgers will probably end up settling for Russell Wilson. And I really hope the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have to settle for him because I do not like Russell Wilson. And obviously, Kirk Cousins would not be a great option either. I think the best bet right now is just to roll with what we got in Mason Rudolph. This is Mason Rudolph. This is a guy who's been drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's learned from the best. He learned from the GOAT, Ben Roethlisberger, the best Steelers quarterback of all time, 2-time Super Bowl champion. And I'm not going to put that down. Big Ben is the best Steelers quarterback. But anyways, back to Mason Rudolph. He learned from the GOAT, and he also got some great playing time. He's gotten some great experience throughout his career. He's had some dismal lows, including when Myles Garrett hit him in the head with his own helmet on Monday or Thursday Night Football, whenever that was. This guy, he had that tie against the Detroit Lions in 2020. This guy's been through a lot of stuff. He got knocked out by Earl Thomas in 2019. This guy's been through everything. He went down to Tennessee. He tried his luck. He got his bag, but obviously Tennessee sucks, and they don't really have any pieces around him. So he didn't have much success down there last year, but when this guy played, last time he played in Pittsburgh, he was looking good. The last 3 games of the season, he had a 3-game winning streak, and that playoff game in Buffalo, he actually held his own, which in the past 10 years, it really hasn't been like that in any playoff game for Pittsburgh Steelers. Even with Big Ben in there, last playoff game he had against the Chiefs, he did not look too good. He is the GOAT, but obviously every dog has its day, and that was not his day. So, but Mason Rudolph, this could be his day, Mason Rudolph, he's been around the league, and this is his time. He's 29 now. He's learned the most he can be, and he's getting his opportunity to possibly be the next starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the fan base is also behind Mason Rudolph. We've seen this guy kind of grow up from when he came in from Oklahoma State with James Washington. Obviously, James Washington's not in the league anymore, but he had his highlights with Mason Rudolph. And like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, we want Mason Rudolph because this guy, he's not like Rodgers. Rodgers, we've been talking to him all offseason. We've offered him a deal. He's waited, and he came in. He visited our facility. He came in for 6 hours, talked to the coaches, and he's waiting, and he's continuing to wait. But, with Mason Rudolph, we called him up. We said, hey, we need a quarterback. We know you need a team. Come back. We need you. Mason Rudolph said, okay. He signed a contract within the first day or two of the Steelers contacting him. He got a 2-year deal. Not a ton of money. I believe it was maybe a little more than $10 million. But this guy earned that contract, and he came in, and he's going to be ready. He's going to study. He's going to be trying to get that number 1 quarterback spot because he wants to be the Pittsburgh Steelers' next franchise quarterback. But, like I said, the Steelers could look to get Kirk Cousins. I don't know what the trade compensation would have to be for Kirk Cousins. He really doesn't have too much value right now because he got benched in the last couple of games of last season, which that was really his worst couple games of football. Like I said, he was throwing a ton of picks. He was turning the ball over. He was getting sacked. And, with the team he had around him, he shouldn't really have been playing like that. When the Atlanta Falcons did make the switch to Michael Penix did have a lot of more success than Kirk Cousins did with that team surrounding him. He had a lot of weapons. He had Pitts. He had Mooney. He had Bijan Robinson, Drake London, a lot of guys in there that, should have been successful. But obviously, Kirk Cousins, he's at the twilight and he's at the end of his career. So I would love to dodge a bullet and not trade for this guy. But we'll have to see what the con artist does. That is all I have for you guys today on Steelers Digest. If you guys have not clicked that subscribe button already, click it right now. Thank you so much. Peace out, boys. Let's go, Steelers.